Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius. It is better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. And when it comes down to it, I let them think what they want. If they care enough to bother with what I do, then I'm already better than them. Today I'm going to be discussing Marilyn Monroe, her childhood, her rise to the top, and why she'll forever be an icon. Norma Jean Mortensen was born on June 1, 1926, better known as Marilyn Monroe. She was born in Los Angeles, California to Gladys Monroe Baker. Later on, she was baptized as Norma Jean Baker. Marilyn's mother was not stable to take care of her when she was young, so she spent her childhood years in foster homes and a few years in an orphanage. Listed as Marilyn's father on her birth certificate is Edward Mortensen, but it is believed that her real father is C. Stanley Gifford. Many times, Marilyn tried to contact and go see Gifford, but he never wanted to speak to her or see her. As well as not growing up with a mother, Marilyn grew up without a father, too. When Marilyn was 16, she decided to get married to get out of the foster care system. Marilyn was married 3 times and divorced all 3 times. First, she married her 21-year-old neighbor, James Doherty, whom she was dating for 6 months. They were divorced 4 years later. Next, her most famous marriage was to Joe DiMaggio. They were the United States' most popular couple, but their marriage only lasted 9 short months. Last, she married Arthur Miller, whom she was married to for a little over 4 years. Marilyn's rise to the top all started when she met David Coroner, a photographer that was taking pictures of women that were contributing to the war. He immediately sent her to the Blue Book Agency in 1945. In 1946, she signed her first contract with Fox Studios, making $125 a month for a year. In her first year, she was offered one small acting part. The following year, she signed another one-year contract, but with Columbia this time. She didn't get many acting parts from them either. In 1950, she posed nude for a calendar, and then later that year appeared in the movie The Asphalt Jungle. After this movie, her reputation as a blonde bombshell was beginning to be well established. 20th Century Fox decided to sign Marilyn again with another contract, but this time for 7 years. Throughout those 7 years, she played several roles in many movies. While filming Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, she had her very first dressing room. In 1955, Marilyn appeared in the movie The 7-Year Itch. From this movie came the most famous photo of Marilyn in a white halter dress being blown up by a sidewalk grate. Marilyn eventually broke her movie contract and moved to New York to work on her acting for a year with Lee Strasberg. Also in 1955, Marilyn found her own company with Milton Green and called it the Marilyn Monroe Productions. She later signed another contract with 20th Century Fox. In 1956, she made a movie called The Bus Stop, which the critics absolutely loved. Soon after the movie, Marilyn started to lose herself to self-doubt, depression, drugs, and alcohol. In 1961, Marilyn was briefly committed to a mental hospital. She was soon sent home but never returned to filming. 2 short months later, Marilyn was found dead in her Los Angeles home. Marilyn will always be remembered as the sex goddess of the 20th century. Monroe became an icon for several reasons. Besides being physically voluptuous, she was stereotyped as dumb, easy blonde. She was also married to 2 figures who were well known in the public eye. Monroe also surpassed an ugly childhood filled with emotional loss and became wrapped up in her Hollywood dream, which would shed certain truths as she continued to strive for her destiny within the royal domain. I believe that everything happens for a reason. People change so that you can learn to let go. Things go wrong so that you appreciate them when they're right. You believe lies so you eventually learn to trust no one but yourself. And sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together.